Hello everyone, this is Benjamin Ramirez. We ended up playing I'm not sure how to pronounce it, Adler Variation, Budapest. This was against Magnus 11 app, which is rated maybe 2,150 from what I've learned online. I don't really know personally myself. So, I gotta fix this. You can put as many moves as you want. I like a decent amount. I don't like too many. Just a decent amount. So start off with obviously you can see the notations here. That is the Budapest. Now I've never really played this move here, E5. That was one of the members. Basically, we accepted it. Basically I guess team captain. I make the final move or whatever. And we have one of the members there who's really good. And I pretty much told the group that he's basically team leader, and we pretty much go by his suggestions. And a lot of times, sometimes we'll talk about stuff, and he'll listen, and every once in a while decide to do another person's move. And of course, we obviously check his stuff to make sure it's okay. If we think it's not, we'll say something, and he'll let us know why it's fine. So it's a decent group. It's a small group. I thought that was an interesting move. I guess that's the whole point of the E5 is after he captures to go here. That is the whole point of it. And after he moves, this is pretty standard. I like the bishop move, which was played after. So just to get the opening out the way. Now here he said he wanted to move the bishop here just to move the bishop to c6 after. I know a lot of people naturally would move the pawn up one, the g7 pawn I believe it is. They usually move it up one and then the bishop to g7, but he wanted to go here instead. And obviously we developed the queen just to castle queenside, which ended up happening. And the bishop move did not happen. It just simply didn't happen that way because of the development. Because you have plans and then your opponent has plans. So a5 was an interesting move. Apparently it's not one of the top moves, but it was a very good move, and it actually worked out very well for us. I did ask about that, and he said not to worry about it because of the rook, and it turned out to be perfectly fine. It actually opened up files towards the king. And then we finally got the bishop move in. It stood the whole entire time until that happened. Apparently queen and d8 was the best move. However, we pushed the pawn up. That wasn't even suggested the top couple moves, but we pushed the pawn up. And apparently that wasn't really good. I like to check to trade the queens here because of the attacks that we had. I figured getting rid of the queens will clear things up easier so we can win. It worked. However, apparently keeping the queen was a lot better. Now here we thought about if he moved his rook, just bringing down for checkmate, and also obviously to keep his rook inactive. We were concerned about the rook going to the second rank. So both of them at second rank is horrible. So we had a easily winning position, and we made it a little, well, that we actually did it over, which is what we actually did. Now, if you look at the whole situation here, because of the bishop, this pawn was pretty much safe. After we captured, he couldn't capture because of the rook, and he captured the rook. After he moved the rook, the pawn was still safe pretty much the whole time. And he couldn't capture with his rook because then we'd make a queen. So it was pretty interesting. Here I wanted to capture the rook. I thought that was better, but I realized that if I captured the rook, he could just capture the pawn with his king. Well, he can't because the bishop. Did I figure again? He can capture that. The bishop will capture the rook. Then I call it check. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to take the rook, and then if he took the rook with the bishop, go down and call it check and have a queen. That's what I wanted to do. But apparently, they see the queen move as almost the same. Rook takes e1. Where is it at? King to f2. Rook to f1. King to e2. Queen. Okay, so he had a way around it. Alright. It was a nice idea. I mean, we don't know how the Magnus app could have made an error anyways, but I guess though it wasn't a guarantee queen, so. And pretty much here, he pretty much said for the rest of us to finish the game off, so we did. It was pretty nice. I wanted the bishop down here, specifically because of the pawn, and I felt that the bishop being down here would just make sure he wouldn't do checkmate. I figured the bishop here and the rook on D7. I said a second rank, it was a 7th rank, as well as worried about earlier. So, alright. And I figured this setup here of the bishop and rook, that pawn will never make it. And because the rook is protected, the king can never get there. And also, after pushing the pawn enough, the king will never go on the other side at all. So I wanted to like cover that completely, which is why I moved there. Just capture. I wanted to simplify it. At some point, I wanted to trade the rook for the bishop, which I got to do later. So he just marched down, basically, and I finally got my opportunity to do that. It wasn't the best move. It was like, it really brought it down a lot, but I figured it would be a guarantee win. I didn't consider the other pawn, the B pawn. That could have easily just been marched up. I didn't really have to sacrifice it, but I was thinking, that's alright. It was still winning. He didn't capture, which I thought he would do. He moved there. I messed up the notations. And that's kind of weird too, because apparently after capturing, king takes d2 is actually the best move. King to f4 is mate 11. I thought they were similar last time I did this. I guess after I went through it the first time, it probably had more time to calculate everything, and there was an actual guarantee mate in 11. Mate in 10. Mate in 9. Mate in 8. 7. And that was the end of it. He resigned here. And I'm glad to know that I I didn't see mate. I mean, I knew it was going to be a checkmate eventually, but I didn't count how many moves it would be, so that was interesting. So that was the game against Magnus 11. We usually win all our games. I think there's a total of like 2 losses so far. I don't even know how many wins. But usually the games last for like 2 hours, sometimes 3 depending. And we actually discussed the moves, and for the most part, like I said, we have one guy that we pretty much listen to most of the time, and every once in a while we talk and try to figure stuff out. So it's not mainly, it's a casual casual learning basically. It's not like super strict, analyze every move. It's pretty basic, you know. You just go for an opening and then watch it play out and then see, you know, how it works. And this is very interesting, like it. I wanted the I think the rat, I forget which system it was called, but I wanted the rat, but I didn't understand it enough yet, so we didn't go for it. But the rat involved this here, and then after to go up here. And if he captured the knight, if he captured this way the queen, usually the most common response is queen capture. This is pretty much for the rat, pretty much. This is apparently a huge mistake, apparently, because of the knight move. Most people would respond, I didn't think about the rook move, but most people would respond to king here. You're supposed to go over here to target. Obviously, that's a lot of trouble right there. And if he tried to, after targeting, what was it again? Oh, he didn't target right away. It was the knight first, targeting both. He moves the rook out the way. Wait a second. I'm missing something here. See, this is why we didn't do it, because I didn't know exactly what I was doing. I did tell them that I didn't 100% understand the opening. Oh, the video showed a blunder. That's what the video showed. And he said it's a nasty trick that can happen. And he basically win. But that was a blunder. That's why I couldn't find it. Alright, that's interesting. When I watch chess videos, I'm gonna start going through this app against the video, because I'm learning stuff. I liked what I learned. It's pretty good. I guess the idea of trying to counterattack makes sense. I mean, some people might do that in a fast game. Since I'm not, okay, it makes sense. Now, if I decided to say something like this, people criticize me and say it's not a good move and I'm a noob or whatever. I got that in my other video about my opening, and it's like, whatever, you know. But if I made a video showing this as a move and then going here, someone would be like, well, you shouldn't move the knight there as a, you know. So whatever. Okay. Alright. Well, that was a nice game. I'm sorry, I wanted to go over the rat a little bit, because I'm expecting the members to watch this, a few of them maybe, and towards the end they get to see the system I'm talking about. That's the normal move, and then you go here this way. This is the only way to really block the square. You can still attack it anyways. But yeah, so that's pretty much the way it's supposed to work. It's a really good opening. I gotta find the video on it to show them, because it explains this. I don't understand it fully. The other one I figured out. This one I I'm not figuring it out fully, but it's still pretty good. So, all right. I hope you like. If you're not involved in the chats for games against computer group games, find a way to message me. You can find me on Facebook if you go to chess opening Sicilian Ramirez variation. You can word it any way you want, but if you do chess opening Sicilian, it should pop up as a Facebook page. Ramirez. Just ask to join there. After you join, you can see my name is Benjamin Ramirez. You can find me and send me a private message, and that way I'll get back to you and I can add you to the game. So, all right. Well, thank you for your time, and I hope you guys like and subscribe and get more videos.